Hello, Undiscovered Voices. Congratulations on winning the most generous, warm-hearted competition in the children's book industry. The Undiscovered Voices was founded by your fellow members of the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, Scooby, for no other reason than they wanted to help their fellow writers have a fighting chance to get published. They found sponsors, designed the call for entries, read hundreds of submissions, sweet-talked agents and editors to judge the competition. And now they're here to hold you up to the gatekeepers of the children's book world and say, listen, these are good. 12 years ago, I was you. After years and years of rejection, I didn't find it easy to attend the Undiscovered Voices reception. I knew that every single agent and editor who'd ever rejected me was going to be there. I had to put on a brave face. At the beginning of my long journey to becoming an author, I nurtured many delusions about what the publishing world was like. First of all, I didn't think of publishing as a business. I thought it was about reading, about love, about talent. I thought the right editor would look at my imperfect chapters and think, there is a glimmer of genius here, and I am the person to nurture it. And then the editor would sign me up and whittle my 9,000 pages down to 300, like Maxwell Perkins did for Thomas Wolfe. And when laziness makes me miss my deadline, that editor will move into my house, drag me out of bed, put me in the shower, pour my coffee, and keep me writing, like Sunny Mehta did for Douglas Adams. And when I throw my manuscript out of the window in a fit of despair, like Harper Lee did one night, that editor, like Harper's editor Tay Hohoff, would order me to march out into the street, fetch it back, and write my way out of my lack of self-belief. And when publishers warn me nobody will want to read a book about people who are not like them, that people of color don't read anyway, that these tales I write are too other, the right editor would fight for my story's right to be told, like Toni Morrison did for her many authors when she commissioned books at Random House. If it is beautiful, she said of one of her books, people will buy it. Actually, they didn't. But Toni still published it because she believed it deserved a place in the world of books. The times have changed, though. Publishing companies are massive now. Stakes are higher, risks are greater. There is more money to lose. And what about the pool of talent? Anyone who spent years receiving rejections will tell you, frankly, there are just too many of us wanting to get published. When I got published, I discovered many odd things about the children's publishing world. Yes, it is a business, but it is a business that gets its oxygen from the love of reading. And so, the children's book world is a world of nice. This is a blessing and a curse. It's a curse because there are a lot of nice, underpaid people in the industry, willing to work for very little for the love of reading. It's a curse because sometimes people are too nice to tell you how much your manuscript sucks. They just say, it isn't right for my list. And when they do publish you, people are too nice to tell you that there's no budget to promote your book. But oh, what blessings there are in this world of niceness. What a blessing that most, though not all, children's authors see each other as allies, not rivals. You only have to visit Twitter to see us promoting each other's books to each other. What a blessing to be surrounded by lovely people constantly talking about how much they love reading and what books they've read recently and what book would be perfect for you and what author you need to discover. And what a blessing that this shared love for books has engendered a shared sense of purpose to bring even more great reads into our world. When I read 2020's Undiscovered Voices anthology, I had a sudden stab of nostalgia. Suddenly, I was a little girl again, exploring my school library, opening book after book. Suddenly, I felt that old familiar greed. I was like a glutton at an all-you-can-eat restaurant. I didn't want to stop at the extracts. I wanted more. I wanted the books. Ever since I became an author and started visiting schools, I've learned where the best ideas come from. Children. So, The Genius Machine by Dr. Adam Connors totally makes sense. A billionaire inventor sets up Genius School, but it's really a plot to steal children's ideas. And it's down to our hero, Gilbert, to destroy the Genius Machine and save science itself. Tulip, Finola, Barnacle. Yvonne Banham invents a weather witch whose witchy family is trying to keep their magical secrets from the outside world. But Tulip can't help herself and magics up a frog invasion that brings the BBC to their pond. The Great Prime Minister's Swap by Laura Warminger. What if a posh, unsympathetic prime minister swapped places with a single mum living on a council estate for just 1 week? What if that single mum had a cheeky, impetuous daughter who is aspiring to become a vlogging superstar? This is golden comedy for our painful times. The Invention of Night. Annaliese Avery invents a clockwork world ruled by science. And so people with dragon blood must hide their true natures, and a young girl races against the clock to save her younger brother. Ghostcloud. Michael Mann has conjured a secret furnace room under Battersea Power Station, manned by children kidnapped by a spine-chilling baddie. I was impressed by the compelling yet lighter-than-air world building. Somebody better publish this quick. I need to read the whole book. The Air We Cannot Breathe by Urara Hiroeh. Teenage girls, flying fighters loaded with missiles, explore a planet. A hot boy with dark curly hair turns up. Except he's an alien, and aliens must be exterminated. But if it's his planet, who's the alien? This book may have the look of Star Wars, but it's going to ask some tough questions about colonialism. The Good Child Serum. Harriet Worrell had me within a few sentences. Her hero's voice is hilarious, but full of pathos. James is an orphan who is desperate for parents, but when his dream comes true, his perfect parents, Mr. and Mrs. Cooper, aren't at all what they seem. The Shape of a Girl by Clare Harlow. This is character-led boarding school drama that evokes a Greta Gerwig screenplay. Emotional beats mount to a crescendo, a heroine with a slowly breaking heart, and a setting that is both mysterious and familiar. The Sea Lord's Curse by Angela Murray is set in 1870 Glasgow. And how I wish I could do a Glaswegian accent, because this book is best presented with one. There's a deadly treasure hunt and a hero and heroine who don't quite trust each other. Unabashedly Scottish with real historical figures, you can tell from the first few pages that it's not going to be easy to put it down. Hagstone. It's hard to believe that this would be Helen MacKenzie's debut. Helen's craft had me shaking my head in admiration. She skillfully knits magic into the life of a contemporary boy with contemporary problems. It's outstanding. Pupil K by Sharon Boyle. You wake up in the rain. You don't know who you are. Things are familiar and yet not. And slowly you realize you are not just a teenage girl. You have been manufactured for unspeakable reasons. Can you ever get away from your fate? You know those little children who pick their noses all the time? Do you ever wonder what they do with all those bogies? I mean, seriously, a good nose picker must produce tons of this stuff. Meet Sean. Sean has built a tower out of his bogies. And then one night, lightning strikes and his bogey tower comes to life. Sean and the Franken-Bogey is by Brooke, and it's hilarious with a narrative voice that will rival Philip Ardag's with or without his beard. I began this speech by talking about how times have changed in the publishing world. But one thing hasn't changed. We all love books and want the best books to find their readers. Editors may no longer have the time to save their authors from themselves, but together we in the industry are still looking out for each other. Just check out all the people behind the Undiscovered Voices. Our sponsor, working partners, Chris, you the man. Thank you to the unsung Undiscovered Voices Planning Committee, Rosie, Catherine, Jenny, Simon, and Benjamin. And thank you to our Scooby team in the EU, Elizabeth, Sandra, and Mina. Thank you to all the Undiscovered Voices alumni who have been mentoring this year's winners. Sophie, Katrina, Katie, Clare, Peta, Jane, Catherine, Maureen, Shirley, Anne, Nicola, Paula, and Imogen. Thank you to our Scooby co-regional advisors who have steadfastly championed this project, Natasha and Kathy. Thank you to the judges, Helen of Pickled Ink, Annaliese of Walker Books, Stephanie of Usborne, Polly of Greenhouse Literary Agency, Alice of Madeline Milburn, Clare of Darley Anderson. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In my new favorite movie, Little Women, as written by Greta Gerwig, Jo has an argument with her sister Amy. Jo says she's writing something, but it's about their little lives, and nobody will care because it's not important. Amy replies, No, writing them will make them important. And Jo says, that's not how writing works. Writing does not confer importance, it reflects it. But Amy insists, that's not true. Writing about it makes it important. So, all you nice agents and editors out there, please accept this gift. 2020's Undiscovered Voices, writing about genius, climate change, friendship, trust, prejudice, depression, relationships, magic, stones, and bogies. All wrapped up in a shocking pink cover for you to discover. May the best stories find you all.